All right, so today is one of the days to where I just want to sit down and chill and talk directly to you. With the edits, with Exploring Tokyo, I'm able to make a fun video and talk about something, but I don't really feel like I'm able to casually speak on the topics that I want to speak of in the right ways. And so with these kind of videos where it's just sitting down, like we're just having a chat in my apartment, I want to be able to express myself a little bit more. And so I'm just sitting in my desk chair in my apartment. It's a little bit dark outside, so I'm using just a ring light and some chicken scratch notes over here. But I want to talk about something that's been on my mind lately, and it's been spaces and minimalism, about simplifying your life and having purpose in all of that. I think that there's a difference in Japanese minimalism and minimalism that people normally think about. When you think of the word minimalist, you might think of a curated white space with a chair and a flower somewhere in the room. And even though it's intentional, it creates a vibe and it has meaning. It kind of feels like it's trying a little too hard to be nothing. Maybe I've just been in my apartment a little too long that I'm thinking about this. But in Japan, they have a word ma, and it's basically that everything has meaning. And the space between things have meaning as well. And so it's not about decluttering as much as it is about making sure that each thing is actually bringing energy and adding something to the space rather than just being a distraction. So I get what people think is good about the appeal of the white room with a chair and the simplicity of it. It does have an energy and a vibe, but I almost feel like it doesn't meet the purpose of somebody living in that space. And so I want a space that feels good to be lived in, or I want my day to be organized in a way to where I'm comfortable progressing through it. With all the distractions and clutter and mess in my own space, it drains me. And I think that in my day, whenever I'm trying to achieve, my projects for the day or create a new video, if I have a lot of other mess going on that I haven't handled yet, haven't cleaned up, then it's only going to distract me. It's only going to make me procrastinate or become lazy or any of these other things that can happen that kind of derail me from what I actually want to do. So in Japan, Japanese minimalism isn't about having less, it's about having just enough. Just enough space, just enough objects, just enough detail to make the place feel right. And that's a huge difference. So I've been on this whole like Zen, like how Zen improve. So I've been on this whole like how Zen improves your life and the concept of Ma, about carefully balancing your space, and actually how it goes beyond interior design, because even samurai used it. I'm reading this book right now called Zen and Japanese Culture by Zaisetsu Suzuki, and in it he talks a lot about how samurais used to train with a Zen master. So back in the day when samurais were studying with a Zen master, they worked on this idea called mushin, or no mind. And it's basically the idea that if your mind is too cluttered, too overwhelmed with overthinking, hesitating, or worry, you lose. That the only way to be fully present is to be fully in control and let go of all the mental noise. And honestly, I think that that's how Japanese minimalism works. It's not about creating just a visually clean space. It's about also something that is mentally clean. It's a place where you don't feel overwhelmed. You can actually focus, think, and just be. So why does this matter? Why am I talking about empty space, no mind, and samurais and Zen philosophy? And it's because I realize, and I want you to realize, that your space, not only your physical space, but your mental space, affects you in so many ways that you don't even realize. It's your focus, it's your mood, it's your personality, it's your creativity, and it's so much more. And I think a lot of us, without realizing it, fill our space with too much. Too much noise, too much distractions, too much stuff. So I'm not saying get rid of everything and super simplify your lifestyle and identify all the things that are distracting you. I'm more saying, do you realize what's in your space that is giving you energy? And are you adding that into your space? Or are you creating the kind of environment for you that is going to be best for you to have the right energy to meet your goals or do what you need to do, or to just feel energized about yourself? It's that shift in thinking that I think is going to make all the difference. Something that I've done recently to try to be more intentional with how I unclutter my mind and my space is to reorganize all of the applications on my iPhone. Uh, generally, generally, I would generally on my iPhone, I have kind of each page organized in a certain way that I've had for months and years. But now I want to go a little bit further in optimizing that. I want to simplify it or declutter it. I want to lean into this idea of no mind, of whenever I'm in a certain mindset, I want to be fully focused for that. And on the iPhone, they actually have a lot of different ways that you can achieve that. Or what I found recently is a guide on how to build shortcuts in an automation to quickly change between those, I guess I would say, paradigms that I would want. For example, I have one that's all about creativity. I have one for fitness and working out. I have one for productivity, and I have one that's just my basic home screen. And so through this, now whenever I engage with a certain kind of whenever I engage with a certain activity, I'm able to also shift my phone to remove distractions away and also bring to the forefront what I need. If I'm working out, I need my health applications, my workout app, maybe access to maps, and I want to be able to see all my health statistics pretty clearly. And so whenever I switch to that shortcut, it brings me to those and it simplifies everything else. When I want to be creative, it's going to bring all of the applications like video and photography, editing, my Canva, my CapCut, video recorders and things like that, music as well, all these things that help build a space to where I'm more creative. And it removes distractions of the productivity or the working out, of all these other things that I don't really need in the moment. And then when I want to be productive, or I got to do some work, or I got to do some finances or stuff like that, I switched to that mode. And in that mode, everything is there for me, perfectly curated in that space to where I can focus on it with less distractions. And so I followed this, built my whole phone setup out of it. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to give a link in the description below if you want to do that for yourself. It takes a little bit of time and understanding to do it. If you really want, I can do a video guide on it, but it's pretty much straightforward. Follow the guide, follow the automations and everything that you need to do, and you'll be able to simplify and kind of curate your space on your iPhone. And I think that that's one step forward to living this kind of Zen philosophy, this the space and balance between things, and this no-mindedness. So please be sure to check that out. At the end of the day, minimalism isn't about having less, it's having the right amount. Just like a Japanese garden, you know, the samurais use that to train their minds, and it's all about balance. So maybe I'm just in my apartment, I'm spending too much time here, and I'm overthinking about what gives me energy, what drains myself, and stuff like that. Or I'm just because I'm reading these books about samurais and their training as well, that it's just on my mind. But I really think that it's something that we don't take note of enough. Anyway, that's kind of my rant. That's what I wanted to talk about today, of just noticing your space more, not just your physical space, but your mental space as well. And if you're into minimalism, or you think that improving your lifestyle in this way is something good, then let me hear about it in the comments. Go ahead, subscribe, and let's talk about it.